Welcome to Atlas Bearing the Heavens for Mothership. As this game starts, let me get this music turned down. The first sounds you hear are the steady, high-pitched whine as your auditory nerves begin to fire. It takes a few moments for that to correct itself. Your vision takes a few moments longer, and as your vision begins to pop in, you see a message on your heads-up display. The allure of sleeping just a little longer pulls at you like a drug. Dreams induced during cryosleep are repetitive and dull, curated by the company to promote a low-stress experience. The blaring alarm klaxon quickly begins to invade your thoughts, and training takes over. Your limbs begin to twitch and tingle, a telltale sign you have been in cryosleep longer than anticipated. Just how long, you don't know. But considering your mission, you would still be sleeping if everything on board the USCC Atlas were going according to plan. You are a member of the DRU, the Disaster Recovery Unit for Tokugawa Enterprises' colonization efforts. The memories of the exact mission directive will take some time to recall. The best bet is to access the computer panel in the DRU cryo chamber and reacquaint yourself with your mission. Let me have...
All right, yeah.
Rabbit, let me have you give me a roll here. Let's make this an intellect roll, just as you see this information on the screen.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
So,
What is going on here?
yeah, you're looking at this, and one thing that you notice is that the mission elapsed time has gone over by 32,740 days. This mission was supposed to take about 12 years, and it's taken about 98 years. The current ship's power is at 0.005%.
Oh, man. That can't be right. That can't be right at all.
Take
I
us to the cryo
get
chamber.
out. So we're in cryo beds here.
So you're just waking up. You were in an isolated unit called the DRU. There are 4 beds in here, one for each of you. However, Adam and Snowball, they seem to just roll over and want to go back to sleep. They couldn't be bothered with this alarm. And so it is up to you to determine how to go forward.
Shaking my head.
So where is that computer panel?
There's a panel off to the side. If you guys want to open the mission briefing, you can double right click it. It'll pull up a web browser. So it'll say opening external link. If you hit yes, it'll pull up a really cool CRT emulator that will show your mission
Sweet.
here. I'm going to go ahead and read that off to you. Tokugawa Enterprises Colonization Initiative. Mission: colonization of exoplanet NC 2806. Vessel: United Space Colonial Carrier Atlas. Departure date: January 15, 2109. Estimated arrival: March 26, 2123. Crew complement: 1,200 colonists. Overview: you have been selected as part of the Disaster Recovery Unit for the USCC Atlas mission to NC 2806. Your specialized training and skills make you critical to the success and safety of this groundbreaking colonization effort. Key objectives: maintain readiness for potential crisis scenarios. Ensure the survival and safety of colonists in emergency situations. Preserve the integrity of the USCC Atlas and its systems. Safeguard the mission's scientific and colonization objectives. Your role: as members of the Disaster Recovery Unit, you will remain in cryosleep for the duration of the journey, to be awakened only in the event of a catastrophic failure or upon arrival at NC 2806. Your team represents the last line of defense against unforeseen challenges that may arise during our mission. Mission parameters: 14 years, 39 light years distance, The planet should be Earth-like, potentially habitable. The challenges are an unknown alien environment, potential resource scarcity, and the psychological effects of long-term space travel. Final notes. Remember, the eyes of humanity are upon us. The success of this mission will open a new chapter in human history. Your dedication, bravery, and skills are crucial to establishing our first interstellar colony. Tokugawa Enterprises thanks you for your service and sacrifice. Ad astra per aspera. Confidential addendum. For disaster recovery unit eyes only, be advised. In the event of catastrophic failure, your primary directive is to ensure the survival of the mission, even at the cost of individual lives. The establishment of a foothold on NC 2806 is paramount. Make decisions accordingly. I'm going to make that briefing visible in the journals. You guys should have access to that briefing. It will be with the charts and tables if you need to pull that up and reference it.
Okay. NC 2806. Well, do we know if there's any? What's the way to? I guess the navigation deck. How can we tell if we're arrived?
Or anywhere closer. This is a really big ship. Anywhere closer that we can find out what's going on with the ship.
Yeah, Taco, give me a check. If you have computer skills, you can use those, or if you have, you do not have hacking, so just be an intellect roll.
And I got nothing to add. I can add to the roll.
You do not.
So I go to chat messages and select public role. Is that right?
No. On your character sheet, just click on intellect. And it will pull up a second box. And you it'll show your skills. None of those would apply. So at the bottom, just click normal.
Gotcha.
So
34.
That is a success.
There we go.
So you managed to pull up a map, and I'm going to send us to this screen really quickly. You pull up a map, and we are in the DRU. And you can tell that something is wrong. Part of the ship is missing. You can see this big line that kind of traverses the screen. You see error messages everywhere. It sounds like the ship has been ripped in half. It has reached the planet's surface. The oxygen outside is sufficient for human life. It is nighttime. It is very warm outside. In order to get your door open to access the rest of the ship, you're going to need to reroute power. That will be a computer or a hacking roll if anyone is skilled with that. If not, it's just a straight intellect roll.
Rabbit, how you doing with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty handy with repair. I don't know if any of this equipment, if there's something more mechanical. I'm not too good with electronics, but looking around, it looks like that map here says we're pretty close to a power unit. Is that like a room I can get to?
Yeah, so you would be able to access that room. There is a terminal there where you can redirect that power. You would have advantage on this roll because you would know how to do this. This is something that would not be outside of your training at all.
All right, so at a normal intellect advantage, but no industrial equipment or mechanical repair yet?
Nope, not yet.
All right. 3.
Excellent.
Great success.
He
grabs a spanner from his toolkit and just whacks the thing.
You hear the computer make an announcement.
DRU power redirected. Activate power in. Cryopause. Cargo bay. Computer. Life support. Power level critical. Ends in T minus 120 minutes.
You've got 120 minutes until there's a catastrophic event. The timer has just started. This is how long the core can provide power before it dips to dangerous levels and melts down.
Well,
there any way-
yeah.
But you can now get the door open to the cryopod room.
Is there any way
Get
we
it
can?
out, I suppose.
Is there any way we can stop the meltdown?
From here, it seems as though the main issue is that half of the ship is missing, and it is unlikely that you can prevent the meltdown from here. This is the basic level of the core that's here is not sufficient to allow you access to that. You need to find the other part of the ship. The small power supply here, when it melts down, will make this unlivable inside the ship, but perhaps the other part of the ship may have sufficient power that you could reroute. It may mean running cables back and forth depending on how far away that piece of that ship is.
All right.
Okay.
What other equipment do we have in the DRU facility
In
here?
the ship's locker, you've got pretty much anything that you might need as far as tools. You've got the weapons that are listed on your character. You've got comm units. You can communicate with one another should you be in separate areas.
I'll grab a comm and toss one to Taco. I don't think these other two are going to be much help.
In fact, as you go over and you look at the Space Marine, you see that he did not survive the journey. And you look at his face, and it's very sallow, and the skin is pulled tight over his face. And that's going to be a fear roll for both of you.
Oh. Oof. Not too good on this one.
Oh, excellent.
All right. Yeah, I've seen stuff like this before. We must have gotten off
that's
course
terrible.
or something.
So all that happens there, Taco, you take a little stress. So you see the Marine, the guy with the gun that would hopefully protect you from dangers. You see that he has expired, and it's just you and Rabbit.
Okay, so we can take anything we want
Yes.
from the locker.
So there's some other weapons here if you want to grab something a little beefier, something that maybe the Marine would have had.
Yeah.
Okay, what does the Marine have?
So the Marine has, he's got a frag grenade and he has a pulse rifle.
I'll take the pulse rifle and give the frag grenade to Rabbit.
Perfect. Let me drag these
Yeah.
over.
Kind of gingerly tucks that into his. He just doesn't know what to do with it, so he puts it in his toolbox there.
All right, so can I take a flashlight
Absolutely.
and a binoculars and bioscanner?
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay, how about a crowbar?
There.
I got some tools here.
Yeah, Rabbit would probably have a crowbar or something in there he could pry something open with.
Okay. Does one of us have electronic tool set?
Yeah, I've got. I just got assorted tools, but I should probably maybe make sure we got everything. I'll grab a length of power cable and some additional electronic tools here.
Perfect.
How about an exo loader?
That'd be nice.
That would be very nice. But, unfortunately, there is not one of those in here.
Okay, a first aid kit.
Yes, there is a first aid kit. Who would like that?
I'll carry the first aid kit.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. You got all your fancy learning.
Okay, can I have a Geiger counter? Well, both of us should probably have a Geiger counter.
Absolutely. And I don't think I've got one on here. Let me make one real quick.
Yeah, that's probably pretty important. If that map says half the ship is gone, that's can't be right.
Hey, Rabbit, can you do anything with lockpick sets?
Yeah, I had some time off world on some stations before. Gotten into a little bit of trouble.
All right, can I grab a med scanner?
Yes.
And let's see, this is a Mohab unit. Yeah. That might be good in case this place blows up and we have to run, as well as MREs.
Hmm.
Or is it too soon to start picking up survival stuff?
Probably
I don't
not
know.
too
Yeah.
soon.
Wait.
It might be worth grabbing some MREs.
Okay,
Oh, and
grab some MREs.
some radiation pills, maybe. Don't know. Going off ship. Who knows what's out there?
Paracord. I'll take some paracord.
Perfect.
What's the encumbrance system in Mothership?
There really isn't one. It's just kind of, are you carrying around a small Walmart, or are you, just kind of whatever seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Can I carry a portable computer terminal?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. So that would give you access to the ship map. You'd be able to assess what's going on in the ship with that.
Okay. And I've got a med scanner, right?
Yeah, let me get that on there.
Yeah. Rabbit stuffs some MREs into his lunchbox. He kind of pulls out a small taxidermied rat, kind of whispers to it, kind of tucks it back in on top of the MREs, closes up. He's like, "All right, Taco, I'm ready to go."
Were you just talking to a rat?
I mean, yeah, let's get moving. There's clock's ticking. You hear the alarms. We ain't got time for chit chat.
I'm worried about you. All right, so we're
Great.
going to the cryopods, right?
I think so.
Let me take us there.
This is the cryopods.
These are the cryopods. This is what they look like. When you step into here, this is a massive room. There are endless rows of open cryopods. There are bullet holes in the ceiling, and there's puddles of rainwater. There are quite a few bits of bodies and congealed blood. There is black flesh scattered everywhere. A broken air vent is boarded up with various bits of debris after it looks as though it was breached by something. There are clear signs of a struggle, and it smells like an unwashed sauna. Let me make a roll here. We'll do even will be Taco, odd will be Rabbit. Rabbit, you hear
It's my luck.
Absolutely your luck. You hear something. Let me grab this. Some strange whispering sound coming from the vent. If you want to get that alert, that klaxon turned off, that will be a computer's roll if you have any computer skill. If not, it's just an intellect roll.
I don't. Yeah. No,
I'll
I'm gonna
use
look.
intellect.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you got the higher intellect, I'm sure.
Oh, very
Yep.
Nice.
Very nice. You punch in a few commands. You probably have an override, and that shuts that down.
I heard something.
Sure, it wasn't your rat.
You hear that sound.
Listen, lay off the rat. You hear that?
There's something coming from the vent.
The one that's boarded up. That one? Taco, I'd point that pulse rifle at that boarded up vent over there.
Well, you want me to shoot at it?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying I hear something. This place looks like a war zone.
Just then,
Yeah.
you see a shadow at the end of the hallway, and you hear a sound.
All right, let's move. We don't want to confront this yet.
You see a
No.
black shape begin to come around the corner. Black skin as though it had been burned, long claws, sharp teeth, and the absence of eyes that you can see.
Do any of the remains scattered around look like this?
Yes, absolutely. Quite a few.
I want to grab some of the remains and let's head out.
So the way out is going to be past that thing.
That thing. Yeah, after you, my friend. I'm right behind you.
Aren't you supposed to be protecting me?
You're the one with the pulse rifle.
All right, I'm going to shoot at this thing.
Okay. Do you? What is Rabbit doing while you're getting ready to take that shot?
Yeah, Rabbit's fumbling. He's gonna grab his nail gun and kind of shakily hold it right as he's behind Taco.
All right. Let me get us into a combat. This will do initiative rolls for us. So if you go on the toolbar, the second icon, the two crossed swords, that's the encounter. You can click on the dice next to your name, and it will make a speed roll for you.
Where did you say to go?
So on the upper right toolbar that has like the actor in the journal, there's going to be two crossed swords. And if you
All right, I
go
gotcha.
there, yep, then click on the dice, and that will make a speed roll for you. Excellent.
3.
So, Rabbit, you won the initiative. If you want, you can hold off until Taco takes his turn.
Yeah. The vent. Do I? How far away? I'm gonna be close enough to kind of try to feel if there's any airflow. So you said I heard some noises in the vent as well.
Yeah. So as you slowly get close to the vent, you put your hand up there, and you do feel air. There's air moving out of the vent.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of motion to Taco, and kind of gesture that it doesn't seem to have eyes. Like I don't see eyes on it. So maybe if we're just really quiet.
Okay, let's go with that. Do you want to try to get through the vent?
Yeah, I'm gonna listen more closely and see if I hear more guttural noises from the vent or what that noise from the vent was that I heard. I guess.
As you press your ear up next to the vent, you do hear a sound. It sounds like whispers. Like dozens and dozens of voices whispering. You can't make out what is being said, but there is a distinct whispering sound.
Taco, I think there might be people this way.
All right, pull yourself together, buddy. It looks like it's been some time since there were people here. Let's try to sneak past this thing.
All right. I'll gesture for Taco to go first.
So it's
Okay,
it's gonna be a speed roll to try and get past it. You right now it's not aware of you, so I would give you advantage on this speed roll. So if Rabbit wants to go first, is your plan to get into the vent?
Yeah, I mean, so it's boarded up. Does it look like I think I'm still going off the he's going off the assumption that I should try to be as quiet as possible. How is it boarded up? Like, do I feel like I could probably remove the...
You've got some tools. You've got like a crowbar in there. You would be able to pull the boards out. It looks like they've been nailed, probably with the same nail gun or similar nail gun.
Same nail gun I've got.
You're carrying. It's going to be tough to be quiet, but if you take your time, or if you have a suitable distraction.
Yeah. I do have a frag grenade, but I'm not going to pull that out yet. I'm going to say, keep your gun trained on that, and I'll pull out the crowbar and try to, as quietly as possible, start removing boards so we have a secondary exit here.
So that's going to be a speed roll, which is basically like a dexterity. That would cover stealth or anything like that. So
can I add jury rigging to that?
Absolutely.
All right, normal roll though.
Yep. Or sorry, normal roll. There we go. And you got it. Excellent.
All right.
So you pop off a couple of boards, and You can see into the vent. It's very dark. I believe you took a flashlight.
Click on my I got a headlamp. I'm gonna click that on.
You click on your headlamp and you peer in there, and the inside of the vent is coated in this yellowish viscous slime. It looks like mucus, like you're traveling through the sinus passage of some great beast. It's clinging to the sides and bottom, hanging down in gooey stalactites from the ceiling. You can get through that vent, but it's going to be like crawling through a birth canal.
Yeah, I don't think so, Rabbit. Okay, so I want to take samples of the yellow snot, and I want to take a sample of the body parts that look like this dog thing.
Okay, perfect. So you can absolutely collect those. There's plenty of these around here. You use your sample collection kit, get a few samples in there. You know that this is going to be invaluable because this is a heretofore unknown species as far as you're concerned.
Okay, what is this thing doing?
So it is.
The
In
dog
fact,
thing.
let's go to his turn. It's tracking around. It's kind of moving back and forth. And Rabbit, when you turned on your headlamp, it turned its head towards you.
Turn it off. Turn it
It
off.
begins to slowly move towards you. Taco, you've got your action.
Turn it off. Turn off the lantern.
As soon as I can, I'll click it off.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to sneak past this thing.
Give me a speed roll.
No advantage.
No advantage. Especially now that it's aware. That is a
I missed
failure.
it.
So as you begin to sneak past, you probably work, probably clinging to the side. You get up almost directly lateral from it, and you step on this little squidgy piece of black flesh, and there's a squelching sound under your boot, and you pause, and the thing turns its head and looks in your direction. Rabbit, your turn.
I'm gonna take the nail gun and try to shoot the pipes above its head to sort of
Excellent.
steam cause a distraction, and then I can run past it if that's successful.
Yeah, so you're shooting an inanimate target. I'm going to give you advantage on that, so you can click on your nail
Alright.
gun.
Nail gun, don't fail me.
You got it.
Yes.
So you hear this ka-chunk as you fire a nail, and it's a steam pipe. It's venting steam from the power supply, the water that the core heats the water, turns the turbines, makes electricity. The whole thing. It's an old archaic reactor. Steam begins to spill and hiss out of that hole, and the thing instantly leaps up on top of one of the pods and is studying the steam right there. Let me give him a roll on his turn. So creatures don't have the same skills you do. They have a combat skill and they have an instinct. So I'm going to give him an instinct roll.
Uh-oh.
All right. He senses what it is and he begins to look around. Still perched up there. He's looking down at the ground, but he seems to have moved away from Taco. So Taco, it's your turn.
Are there any computers around?
Just the units that control the cryopods. They would open and close and monitor whoever's in there.
Okay, I'm going to continue to try to sneak past.
Give me a speed roll. With the hissing of the steam, you get advantage on that.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that is not going to do it. As your stress begins to mount, you make it to the end of the hallway. So you'll be able to leave this room on the next turn, but the creature leaps down upon hearing your hastened footsteps. Rabbit, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take my short range comm off, and I'm gonna kind of motion to Taco, and I'm gonna place it inside this cryopod that I'm next to, and then sort of start to make my way on the opposite edge of the wall, like easing very slowly, and hopefully my friend here knows to like make a little bit of noise if I get in trouble.
You probably have a
To-
squelch button on there. You can make that thing squawk if you need to.
Yeah, there you go. Want a speed check?
Yep, speed check. No advantage on this because it's hunting. It's alert.
Boy. Hey,
Oh,
I'm pretty quick.
Look at that. They don't call you a rabbit for nothing. You get
No.
about halfway across there. Let me give this an instinct roll, and I'm going to give it disadvantage as you squelch that. Okay. You squelch the comm, and it darts into the cryopod. Taco, do you leave the room or do you stay here to cover Rabbit?
Is there any way I could access a computer that would close that pod?
Yes, this is going to take a hacking roll though, because you don't have the override code for this. So it will. If you had hacking, you could use the skill. Otherwise, it's just going to be an intellect roll with disadvantage.
All right, intellect roll with disadvantage. I don't think so.
Oh, critical failure.
Critical. Oh no!
All right.
Oh no!
So you're going to make a panic check. So make sure that you have selected your token, and then you're going to click on the make a panic check on the chat bar, and it will do that for you. If you're not able to get that to work, I can do it for you.
See, I've got toggle combat, toggle target, assign status effects. Okay. No, that's not it.
Yeah, you shouldn't need to do that. So just on your token, right now it should have like the blue little ring around it.
Yes.
If you just click on it, so it'll have like probably a yellow line, and then over in the chat bar where it says make a panic check, if you just click on that, it'll run the macro and it should roll that for you.
Let me scroll down. With disadvantage?
No,
normal?
Just straight,
roll.
yeah.
No, straight roll. Good. You want to roll
That's
above
good.
your stress, so you do not panic. You're not able to get that shut, and in fact, it lets out a little beep over there. That's why you panic, because the computer gives a little report that you have entered incorrect data, and you can hear this thing that was rooting around in here begin to emerge. Rabbit, you're up.
Yeah, just gonna kind of quickly continue my way down once I get to Taco, grab him. Or actually, I'm not. I'm just not. I'm gonna go straight past to the door to the next room.
Next room is the cargo bay. Actually, from here, you can go to either the computer room or to the cargo bay. Where do you go?
I think Rabbit would go to the computer room,
Okay,
trying to find out some more information about our situation here.
Let me take you to the computer room. Taco and Rabbit, you guys enter the computer room. The walls.
What was that thing, man?
Yeah, something absolutely terrifying, whatever it was. The walls are covered with screens. From here, you can see access panels that will let you lower the cargo bay loading ramp, as well as start a shuttle that is in the cargo bay. To start the shuttle, it must be done simultaneously from here and from within the shuttle. This room smells like dust and old electronics. And again, you hear a sound coming from the vents.
More of the whispers.
More whispers coming from those vents. There's a large glass window in here. You don't see it on the screen. It would be kind of what we're looking through, and that looks out into the cargo bay. And into the cargo bay, you can see. Let me just show you what it looks like there. You can see a huge shuttle, as well as a human and an android milling about inside this room. The human looks as though they are wounded, and the android is just standing there as though it is unsure what to do. It is not programmed for this.
Can they see us?
They do not see you. If you want to make your presence known, you can.
I want to check the computers and find out as much as I can first.
Perfect. What are you checking for?
Any history logs?
Perfect. Give me an intellect roll.
No.
You do so. You do find a log. With the failure, I won't tell you what you understand from it. I will leave that up to you. But you do find a log.
Rabbit's gonna kind of read over Taco's shoulder here. It's like we were deferred. Autopilot failed and there was a crash.
Well, we're off course and on an unknown planet.
Looks like they were just about to wake us up, but
They deferred it.
yeah. Oh wait, look at the year. Wait, no, that's
Yeah, it's a long time
Yeah, it's been
in the
98
future.
years since the mission left. So you're about 80 some odd years, 85 years overdue. You
there was
spent a
an
long time in
EMP.
cryosleep.
Yep.
Somebody put off an EMP.
So what do you think? Should we try to contact these guys?
Let me jerry rig this door so that thing doesn't follow us in here.
That
We're gonna
sounds
try to
good.
like block off our trail.
All right, can I look for anything else in the computers?
With the failure, yes, the information you get may be unreliable depending on what you're looking for. What are you trying to discover?
There are any logs after the crash or anything?
So that there are no logs after the crash. In fact,
Are there any logs before the crash?
the only logs show that what you saw on that main log is that the ship was launched, everyone went into cryosleep, and then there was an EMP about 4 years into the mission that damaged the navigation module and it recalibrated your course, and then there was a unknown planet in the trajectory and a crash landing. So what caused that EMP, you do not know. There's no record in the ship of whether it was internal or external or what may have led to that.
Can I look for any records about the cryopods?
Yes, so you do find records that the first people that were awakened, the androids were never in cryosleep, but they awakened the captain and officers, who then began to wake the crew, and then that is the end of the logs, is that the crew has been woken up, they have begun colonization efforts, and that's it.
If it's been 90 something years, whoever that is out there in the cargo bay, she likely wasn't part of the original manifest here.
Yeah, I don't know. Should we try to contact them through our comm units first? That way they don't necessarily know where we are.
Yeah, go for it. I left mine back there.
All right, I try to contact either of them and just say, hello, we are part of the disaster recovery unit. We've just come out of cryo. Can you give us any information?
You see the woman slump, and her voice comes over the comm unit. Yeah, my name is Riley. 2 of the others went to find an antidote in the science lab. I'm infected. Avoid contact with me.
Is there any way to
Go
carry
ahead.
on?
The science
Oh.
lab is in the other portion of the ship,
Where is it?
200 meters to the south.
The logs that I've seen show that the colonization was begun. Is that correct?
An attempt was made. The planet is hostile. I, I don't know if colonization can proceed.
This ship is about to destroy itself. You're going to need to leave.
I need an antidote from the science lab.
How far
Well,
away? Are there any survivors anywhere other than in the science lab?
Dr. Winters and Brick, the Marine, they went to the lab. We're all that's left. Those things took the rest of them.
Is the android infected as well?
He's not infected, but there's something wrong with his programming. He's unreliable. And you see the android begins to move towards her, jerks a few times, almost as though he's having a seizure, and then turns and heads back to where he was standing. And every 30 seconds or so, he continues. He paces forward, jerks spasmodically a few times, and then returns back to where he was standing.
yeah, they're all
you-
unreliable, if you ask me.
So you and the doctor are the only ones left?
And Brick Steel, he's the
And
guy
Brick
with the gun.
How did they travel to the science lab? Do they have transportation, or are they on foot?
On foot, just their boots.
I talked to. Go ahead, please.
That shuttle, is that operational?
Yes, but it needs power. There's power cells over in the power bay near the science lab. Brick went to get those. If we can get the power cells, we can get this shuttle going. We can get off planet before the Atlas is no more.
Okay. Rabbit, do you know how to repair androids? Are you willing to try?
Yeah, I can give it a go. It's not my specialty, but I've anything mechanical I can do. I just don't know if it's the programming. I might need you to take a look at it. Is there anything in our medical kit that can kind of help us be protected, or do we see any other like vac suits or anything
So
like
Riley
inside the cargo bay even?
Yeah, Riley's not wearing a vac suit. There are vac suits in here. If you want, you can definitely put some on.
I think getting up close to that yellow goo and hearing about an infection makes Rabbit ready to spend a few minutes here suiting up.
Yeah, let me give you guys vac suits. And let me get these put on. We'll get rid of your normal stuff here.
Oxygen.
There we go.
Slightly better armor points.
You put the vac suits on, you're breathing the oxygen. It's a little stale, but then you get that hit as your red blood cells become oxygenated, and you realize that perhaps the atmosphere here was a little bit weak. The slight headache that you've had is probably a good indicator of that, but now that you're breathing pure oxygen, you feel much better about yourself. Now, we do have a medical scanner if you guys want to check and see if you have already been infected.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, that'll be an intellect roll. And just one of you needs to make that. I think Taco has the Medi-scan.
Yeah. Yep.
As you get the scanner going, you scan each other, and there's no immediate sign of infection, but you don't know if there might be an incubation time, that this needs to set in first.
Can I use the med scanner on the samples?
The samples of the dog thing or the slime?
Yeah, both.
Yes, and you run the scanner over there, and there are no signs of infection.
Okay, does Rabbit have a cybernetic diagnostic scanner?
I don't
I
believe
don't.
so.
Yeah. Would there be one here in the computer room that I could maybe grab?
Uh, yeah, I think so. There would be.
All right. Yeah. I'll dig around for it and then say, let's go. I'll check out the Android if you want to keep your distance, scan that Riley.
I will.
All right, let me pull your tokens out as you head down into the cargo bay.
Rabbit will walk up to the Android and say, hey there, fella. If like, can you hear me? You understand me?
I am Darwin GPP-73. I can hear you. Why is the
Seems
mission not succeeding?
it's life can get a little tricky. I think there might be something you could do to help us, but I need to take a look at you. Would you comply?
I am obligated to comply. And he turns
All right.
around, and you see a small port on the back of his neck open up, and you're able to plug in the scanner and run a diagnostic on him. That
Okay.
will be an intellect roll.
Can I have advantage
You
since
can.
I'm
Yep, you've got a
getting
tool and everything that you need there.
the right tools for the job here? All right. Yeah. What do I see here?
He's got a computer virus. It's a pretty archaic one, but it's definitely there, and you can see that it is affecting his logic circuits. And as he goes through his protocols, it keeps rerouting him. And you think you can probably correct this. This would be something that would be within your domain. This is not something overly difficult. It's just you just need to run your McAfee on him and clean that right up. You'll be full of malware if you do it, but if you
Yeah.
run it on there, there's a good chance you'll be able to clear that up.
Yeah. I think I can get you all fixed up here, buddy. Just give me another minute, and I'll try to run that.
Let me give Darwin a roll here. Yeah, so you get Darwin cleaned up, and you see his eyes kind of pulsing and flashing as the old firmware is restored, and all traces of that virus are wiped. And when you finished, when you remove the port, he turns around. Oh, the DRU. Clearly, something must be amiss. And he then relates to you what has happened almost verbatim from the ship's log. Everything that you have already discovered, that there was an EMP, the ship was knocked off course, a planet was in the trajectory, it made planet fall, and the ship during landing was torn in half, that the fusion core is at critical levels, and that there is approximately, and you see him doing the rapid calculations, 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 37 seconds until core meltdown.
So you're telling me this is not NC 2806?
That is negative. This planet is unregistered.
All right. I'll relay that to Taco and see how he's doing over there.
Rabbit, give me a fear save as you realize the gravity of your
Oh,
present
yeah.
situation.
Wrong planet somewhere in the universe.
And I got an hour and a half of life left if I don't get it.
Hey, Rabbit's got some things going well for him today. He's
Yeah.
not a brave guy, but
You've
he's living.
You've had worse days.
Yeah.
Taco, what are you doing while Rabbit's running these diagnostics?
Okay, so I kind of walk over to Riley, keep my distance, and introduce myself, and ask if I can use my med scanner.
She will allow it. In fact, she's grateful to have someone render some medical assistance to her.
Okay, it's just
Be an intellect roll as you. Well, actually, you've already used the scanner. Let me give her a body save.
Can I use pathology?
Yeah, if you want to use pathology, that will help you on here. So, perfect. And that's
Critical
a critical
success.
success. Okay, what are you trying to to discover.
The source of this infection.
It is
What?
it is parasitic. It is a host that has laid larval eggs inside of her body, and your scanner picks them up growing alongside of her spine. There are clusters of eggs crammed around her dorsal root ganglion near all of her spinal nerves as they exit out into her body. And you see that some of them are slightly larger, as though the larva is beginning to feed upon her and is growing. She is a host for some unknown pathology.
Can I examine these clusters in more detail?
You would need to take a sample of her tissue to do that, and that would be near her spinal cord, and she is not willing to let you do that.
I explained to her that I'm a master surgeon. If we can find a place to do this surgery, a safe place, I might have a chance to remove all these eggs.
Let me have her make a fear save. Yeah, she says, no way, no way. They're bringing me an antidote, and that's what I need. I need the antidote. Dr. Winters and Brick, they'll be back any time now. They should have been back already. And Darwin says, there is insufficient time unless an antidote is brought within the next 45 minutes.
You want to risk it, Riley?
Fine, fine. And she bends over and lifts up her back like she's going to have a spinal tap. Taco, you're going to have to do some...
Do I have any anesthesia or anything?
You do not. You can use your surgery skill on this. She grits her teeth and says, just hurry, just hurry. Oh, critical success.
Nice.
Excellent.
Getting some good rolls.
As you take out this small sample, you hold it out on the scalpel, and you can see a cluster. It looks like caviar, little tiny black balls, little eggs. They're very very spongy and mucousy, and about the size of caviar, just very small. As Taco, as you're doing this, Rabbit, you just happen to hear a sound, and you look up when you hear this sound. And looking up towards the ceiling, you see some strange, almost cottony looking balls with tendrils coming off and two huge glassy eyes. They're clustered up on the ceiling, and up there you can see what looks to be thousands of these little eggs all clustered around the ceiling. Give me a sanity roll, Rabbit.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Freaking out. Rabbit yells to Taco, Doc, it's time to get out of here, man. Time to get out of here. Darwin, what's your mission parameters?
The mission parameter is to colonize this planet.
Look, buddy, I think there's only 4 or 5 of us left, and I don't know how much of a colony crew we'll make. I think the new parameters are we get this shuttle into orbit. Sounds like we need some power cells. Can you help us out with that?
There are power cells in the power bay in the other half of the ship.
Rabbit's just kind of eyeing up in the ceiling. Taco, man, we got to get out of here.
Hey, did I get all the eggs out?
Not all of them. They would have been all up and down along her spine, but you got out enough that you'd be able to run a scan on them.
Okay, can I do that?
You can. And since you got a critical success on your surgery roll, I'll say you automatically are able to get this scanned in the computer. And this is some sort of parasitic worm larva. You know that this will turn into a most likely a black larval worm, and you suspect that the adult stage is probably those big white cotton balls you've seen up there on the ceiling. It seems as though they seem to be watching over a clump of eggs up there.
Okay, I'm gonna close her up.
She
Or is
winces
that
in pain as you seal it up. You probably, with your medical kit, you would have a little laser cauterizer. It would just take a moment to cauterize that. She lets out a little wince and turns around, and you can see she's bitten through the bottom part of her lip. Clearly that hurt much more than she let on. And she looks at
okay?
you
Is
and
there
says, "Fine, you've cut me open. Get me my antidote."
okay? Is there anything I can do for her lip?
Yeah. So you've got the medical kit. You probably reach in there and you pull out some a little bit of adhesive ointment you put on there. It's almost like super glue. It'll instantly seal that wound. It's watertight. It will keep any infection out. Although she's already infected with this parasite, you don't know if you should worry about the bacteria getting to her. The worms around her spine are probably going to take care of that first.
Okay, when I did that scan, did I find any susceptibilities of these eggs? Are there any chemicals or anything that would destroy them?
You suspect that some of the usual chemicals like bleach, ammonia, iodine may be useful. On the scan, it would seem as though alcohol would not be a useful substrate, and it also seems that extreme heat or cold would not be a useful measure.
Okay.
Okay, I tell her to not drink any alcohol.
She looks at you like, "I've got just over an hour to live. You think I'm not going out drunk?"
Don't do it. It will make it worse.
Rabbit's looking around for in this bay some heavier duty equipment that might be more his speed, like a laser cutter, or rigging gun, or something like that.
There would be a laser cutter in here. Let me grab one. I'll put it on your character sheet.
Gonna grab that and say, Darwin, can you guide us to the other part of the ship, the other half of the ship?
I can comply. First, we must open the cargo bay door.
Can we do that from the computer room, or can we do that in here?
The computer room has access to that, and Darwin walks in, and you see him walking almost like RoboCop. He's kind of a little bit jerky in his motions, as though whatever smooth motion he may have had is gone. It's as though his computer is relearning some skills from this gravity and this environment, and it may take him some time to get fully up to speed. But he goes into the computer room. You see him through the large window. He's at the computer for just a few moments, and then
Loading ramp. Open.
the computer opens the loading ramp, and you can see the dark environment outside. There are ferns, there are trees, there's moss, very lush and vegetative. It looks as though there's a little valley that you need to traverse, and Darwin points and says the other half of the ship is on the other side of the valley.
How many clicks?
2 clicks.
Can we double time it with an hour left?
Darwin says you will have to.
Rabbit, make sure his visor is closed from the suit, and looks at Taco. Ready to go?
Yeah, I want to try to shoot these eggs on the ceiling.
with the
shoot
pulse
these
rifle?
3. Yeah, with the pulse rifle. Can I do so?
You can.
Rabbit's gonna get near the door as you do
Let me
that,
just pull you onto
in
this
case they
screen,
react poorly.
and okay, you can you go ahead and take that shot.
Okay, I'm aiming for the things that are protecting it. These filament things.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
You let out a blast of pulse rifle fire. 5 or 6 rounds burst out. You see them, the tracer elements arc up into the upper levels of the cargo bay, and they slam through some of the eggs near some of the creatures, punching holes through the hull. You don't seem to have done any appreciable damage to them, but you do see little clusters of eggs raining down from where you damaged the the bundles of eggs up there, as though you may have loosened some of them up, and some of them fall down upon that cargo ship and splatter when they hit. They're very fragile, almost with a thin membrane, and a fall from that distance seems to have disrupted that outer membrane.
Can I try one more shot?
Absolutely. Oh, you rolled exactly the
No.
same.
You hit the same spot.
You hit the exact same holes. Like you couldn't have done that if you tried. Those 3 white cottony things begin to recede away from you, and then you see almost a blinding flash as they dart out towards you. And they begin to swarm all around you. They are lumbering as they get near, their tendrils lashing about. You suspect that they are not designed for combat, but they are in protection mode to protect the nest and protect the eggs.
All right,
Let's go.
Get your staple gun out, buddy.
Rabbit is backing away further and further into the vegetation, away from these things.
Now that is exactly
right.
what Rabbit would do.
Rabbit, go to get the power. Go try to get the power supplies, and I'm going to attack these things.
Darwin will lead Rabbit over to the other half of the ship as you head into the darkness of this humid jungle. You hear the rapid burst of Taco firing the pulse rifle. Go ahead and take another shot. There we go. 17 points of damage. Tell me how you take out this swarm.
I just shoot in the middle, as possible of the body of these things.
You see splatters. They have very thin skin, and almost like those eggs, once your round passes through that little cottony outer layer, they just explode like water balloons. I'm going to reload your pulse rifle. There we go. You pop the magazine out, throw in a fresh one, and turn and head towards Rabbit as he heads into the darkness.
Yeah, I'm going to run after Rabbit.
Perfect. Let me pull Rabbit out here as well as Darwin.
I think Rabbit's gonna try to keep his lights low and just follow. Maybe there's a little bit of lighting or enough of a silhouette for Darwin to be a guide here to follow.
As you begin heading out there, you see Darwin, a little red light keys in. He's using either thermal vision or infrared. You're not sure which, but he does not need that light to see. And he takes a rather direct route. And you can see him pause, and he holds up his hand every now and then. We could put a farm over here, and he points to a patch of jungle. And you're like, what is the deal with this guy? Like, we're not putting a farm here, Darwin. But he keeps pointing out where you could still colonize this planet. After about 15 minutes of walking, you begin to hear growling coming from the right, probably 20 or 30 meters into the darkness, into the trees. You can hear this growling sound.
Does Darwin seem to notice it?
Darwin does not. He just continues to walk.
Hey, Chrome Dome, hold up.
He stops and looks at you.
Oasis, off to the right. Keep quiet.
He looks off to the right, and he holds up his hand. He's holding up 2 fingers.
I'll kind of see, as Taco, I assume, caught up to us and say, keep that pulse rifle. Looks like 2 more of those monster things.
Just keep moving slowly. Try to not make noise.
Let me have both of you give me a fear save. Ooh, not so good.
Barely missed it, too. Wait, no, 82. Yeah, never mind. I thought I rolled a 28.
Oh.
I still would have failed at a 28, though.
Things are getting a little tense. You know that you have been noticed, but they have not done anything yet. You reach a point where you can see the other half of the ship. You see sparks coming out of exposed wires. You see open ductwork, and you can see right into part of the ship. You see the farm station. This is where they were growing all of the biologicals, plants. They had animals in cryo. This was where they were going to do studies on the native flora and fauna, as well as reintroduce Earth species onto the planet. But all that is for naught now. As you get close, your computer beeps, and you can see the map of the ship, of the second half of the ship, show up. You can see into the farm station. You can see there is the repair bay, the medi bay, and the auxiliary power bay. That auxiliary power bay is likely where you would find those power cells. Let me have
Taco, we got a vent. We can maybe go straight to the power bay.
You go to the power bay with Darwin. I want to go to the farm station and check on the research on the native plants. See if there's anything we can use to fight these eggs.
Let's go to Taco at the farm station. Is that what Rabbit wants to do? Go with Darwin to get the power supply?
Yeah, I think so. I think seeing this on the thing, he's gonna try to see if he can. Well, actually, no. He's gonna remember. He's gonna have a flashback of the yellow vent, the vents with the yellow mucus, and and he's like, you know what? I'll stick with you. I want to see what these plants are too, and Riley needs that antidote.
Yeah, plants are good. Plants are good. Yeah, there is a vent. This little dashed line is a vent that leads into the auxiliary power bay.
Yeah.
But you're going to go to the farm?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
So, and again, excellent role-playing of Rabbit, because based on your agenda, that is exactly what Rabbit would do.
Oh.
You make it into the farm station. There's overgrown vegetation. You see a scientist. This must be Dr. Winters. She looks as though she is half eaten, but alive. Her hand is over her abdomen, and when she sees you, she raises her hand as though to wave at you, and you see a loop of her intestines just bubble out, and she begins to slowly tuck it back inside of the gash in her abdomen. She beckons you closer.
I run over to her.
She says, colonization has failed. Survival is all that remains. You need to retrieve an energy cell from the repair bay. Start the shuttle using the computer, and then get the hell out of here.
I can try to stitch you closed.
Yes, please.
Do you know any native plants that we can use as an antidote against these eggs that has infected Riley?
One thing that I suspected was that the plants would have a means to protect themselves from those worms. I haven't been able to find anything yet, but we synthesized something in the science lab. It was processing, and I came out here to gather more samples, and that's when one of those dog things, it got me.
Okay, I'm going to rapidly use surgery to try to close this wound.
Perfect. Give me a roll.
I think Rabbit's gonna make a fear save, seeing
Yep.
what these things could actually do.
Yeah, as you see her insides on the outside.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a failure. Anything above 90 is a failure.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I tell Winters what's going to happen, and I give her something to put in her mouth to clamp on.
She takes it, and you just begin to cut. And as you cut, you find areas where you're able to clean. You don't see any signs of infection. You probably scan her for injuries. She's got broken bones. She's got this lacerated abdomen. Her liver has taken quite a beating. The odds of her surviving are very slim, but you do the best that you can, and you think you've got her patched up. And then you scan her spine, and you see it's filled with clusters of those eggs. And about that time, you're kneeling down here doing the surgery on her. You look at your foot, and at first you don't know what to make of it, but you see this black worm crawling on your boot. Give me a body save as it begins to burrow into your vac suit. Nice. That is a fail.
Oh no.
Let me see. Rabbit, you see this beginning to burrow into the suit. How much protection does your suit have? Ooh, okay.
3
It's got
AP, I believe.
Okay. The worm begins to burrow into Taco's foot. Rabbit, what do you do?
Yeah. Rabbit snaps too. He's been kind of jittery, kind of scanning the lights here, the glass ceiling, and but he sees Taco kind of freak out, and he's not wanting to lose the only doctor that can maybe tell him what to do if he does get infected. So he's going to quickly grab his stun baton and go over and try to just like electrocute this thing.
Nice.
Swipe at it to get it off of him.
Give me a
Stop it from
roll
burrowing.
with disadvantage because you don't want to shock Taco.
Yeah. All right.
I tell him, don't worry about it. I'll take the shock.
Perfect. Then just let him have it. No disadvantage.
Normal roll.
Yep,
All
normal
right.
roll. Oh, anything above 90 is a failure.
Yep.
Okay.
I say, damn it, Rabbit.
Do it right. So the damage is 1d5. So Taco, you'll take 3, but your armor will protect you from all of that. So
I'm gonna take the butt of the pulse rifle and try to smash this thing.
perfect. Go ahead and make just a combat roll to do that. Nice. You smash it against your foot and it just splatters open, and you see this kind of blue-green blood oozing out of it, just covering your boot, and you can see the hole. Your boot has been compromised. It is no longer airtight. You can hear oxygen rushing out of your boot.
Do we have any duct tape?
Yeah, Rabbit's good at jury rigging. He'll grab some things from his. I've got some mylar patches and some other things I can do.
You
Can I
won't even
do?
need to make a roll. You're able to get
Right,
that
perfect.
on there, and you get that sealed up. And Taco, you're not losing oxygen, but you know that these things, that there was no warning, that you just happened to notice it on your boot.
Okay, I want to do a med scan of my foot and try to determine if I'm infected.
Give me an intellect. Actually, give me an intellect roll with advantage. Yeah, you show no signs of infection.
Did I fail that or succeed?
You
You
succeeded.
succeeded. Yeah.
Okay. So what samples were you collecting, Dr. Winters?
She points over at some of the plants, and there's a fruiting plant. It's got some small berries, and she says, "Those berries, there's something in there that disagrees with those worms." And
Darwin, come help me collect these berries.
the berries they're yellow, almost like a poison frog here on Earth. You know, a clear sign that these things should not be eaten or consumed. It's a warning to other creatures. You know that whatever is in here is probably very toxic. And so, Rabbit, do you go and gather this up? You know it's probably poison.
Yeah, I think he hears that it'll keep these things off, so maybe he like smushes some around, rubs it on his like ankles and
Right.
his toes and stuff.
It's better than DEET. Keeps all the bugs
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
You get like all the little seams, you know, around your gloves, wrists, ankles, probably around your
Yep.
neckline, wherever something could try and get in. You get it covered. You gather up a bundle of those. Miriam points down the hallway and says, "The science lab is in there. Brick, he went in there to synthesize something for me. He's not been back. I worry that thing got him. One of those black dogs."
So off to one, there's a repair. Can you show the map again?
Yes. Let me take
There's a
this
repair
down.
room and then the med room. Okay.
Yep, so you can go
So
to the
repairs.
repair bay or to the med bay.
And she said that it was in the repairs, but did you mean for her to say auxiliary power bay is where the power, like Rabbit's thinking just about the power cells for the shuttle.
That would be in the power bay. So you'd have to go through the
Okay.
med bay to get there.
Doc, I think we got to get those power cells. The clock's still ticking. I know you got your research to cover, but we gotta. Research
Okay.
won't do us good if we're nuked.
Okay, first of all, I apologize for cutting you guys off on occasion. I get a little intense.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
And then I'm going to try to pull up some of these plants with the berries on them whole and just take the whole plant. Is there any container I can put them in?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to grab as much as I can, put them in a container. Planter or something.
Yeah, there are some carbon fiber plant, basically pots that'd be filled with soil and other nutrients, and you could grab probably a half a dozen that would hold 6 of these plants.
Okay, awesome. And what do we need to go to repairs for, Rabbit?
I'm saying we go to the power bay as soon as we can.
Okay, let's head into the med bay.
Yep, right behind you. Darwin, lead the way.
Let's go to the med bay. Darwin walks into the med bay, and this is a high-tech lab. There's medical equipment, scanning devices, and you see a Marine. This must be Brick Steel. He's sitting on the floor. He's sweating profusely. His skin is bright red. Taco, you would know right away he has a fever. He says, "Give me those berries. I need those right now."
Let me try to figure out how to introduce these berries into your system. I think if you just eat them, it's not going to help fast enough.
No, and he points over at this machine over here. Put them in there.
Okay.
It's all programmed.
Okay, I do so.
You put the berries in. There's a small sample cup. It takes it in there, and then you see a low power warning. You know that this is going to need probably an external power supply in order to get this to function. They're just on emergency power in here. It runs the lights, keeps some of the computers up, but to run this unit is going to take a little more. You see as Brick begins to slowly crawl towards you. What's taking so long? You can see he's got huge tumorous bubbles on the back of his neck and going down the back of his shirt.
Rabbit, is there any way to route more power to this machine?
Yeah. So he kind of backs away from Brick and pulls Taco to a side and says, "Look, I can probably take the power unit on my laser cutter and jury rig something up, but I think this guy's too far gone.
Well,
He doesn't look so good to me.
we're not gonna give up onto him until he turns.
So,
All
Rabbit,
right.
that'd be a jury rigging roll if you want to try and hook that up. It will cost you your laser cutter, but if you succeed, you'll be able to get it working.
All right. He's gonna do it. Maybe he can find another power unit or something in the next room. All right. So he's gonna add intellect and jury rigging.
Yep.
Make a normal roll here.
Yep.
All right. What do we get?
Oh, you missed it. So
Yeah.
so I'll say that you are able to get it to work, but it absolutely destroys the laser cutter. You have to pull bits and pieces out of it, isolate the power supply. You're like, it's going to take me 2 hours to rebuild this thing, but you do have the power supply for this unit here. Now, what this will do is that this will produce. It'll produce one less antidote than the number of infected, but at least one. So we've got 1, 2, 3 infected people. It will produce 2 antidotes. To create
Go ahead,
to
please.
create an antidote, it's an intellect roll with disadvantage. But however, scientists, which is Taco, can create an antidote automatically without rolling.
Nice.
Just one?
You can create 2.
Okay, I create 2 and give one to Brick. Administer one to Brick.
Brick takes it, and you see the tumors on his back start to pulsate, and then they slowly begin to lay themselves flat, as though whatever was inside his body is being adversely affected by that. And he slumps down to the ground, and you see him breathing easily as his body finally begins to rest. He's like, oh, that feels so good.
I administer one to myself.
Nice.
Rabbit, I'll say Rabbit was not paying attention. He's kind of over here trying to listen into the next room and see if he can get a sense of what's waiting for them.
In which room are you listening into?
The power room, the auxiliary power room, where he's hoping to head to next, so that he can get off this godforsaken planet.
You press your ear up against the door, and you hear growling. Something is pacing around in there.
Brick. He'll turn around and see that Brick's looking better. He's like, you got any weapons on you? I think we're gonna need to get into this room, but we may come against some resistance.
Brick has a pulse rifle. He's like, I'm in no condition to fight. I gotta go check on Dr. Winters.
You have to. I'll check on Dr. Winters. You have to fight. There's no choice.
He's like, all right, help me up, and he holds out his hand to Rabbit.
Rabbit, looking down at to see if the yellow stuff is still kind of applied to the seams of his vac suit, reaches down cautiously and pulls Brick up and kind of gives him a pat and points him towards the door with Darwin.
He works the action on the pulse rifle, chambering around, and the two of you head into the power bay. Let me take this in there. And Taco, what are you doing?
I'm making another 2 doses.
So this one, you will need to make an intellect roll for this one, but it won't be with disadvantage. It's a straight roll.
Damn.
You can get 1 dose.
Okay, I need to make more. Can I do another one?
You can try one more. One more failure, and your power supply will be dead. Oh, yep.
Oh no!
So you've got
Almost
you got 1. So you've got at least 2 infected people. You've got Riley and Miriam. And Rabbit has not taken any of this if he happens to be infected. So someone's not going to make it.
So I've got 2 doses, right? Or just 1?
Just 1.
I've got just 1 dose. Okay, I'm going to go check on Dr. Winters.
Okay. Let's go to the power bay. I'm going to take going to take us all here just so that, Fred, so that you can watch what happens here. But let's pull Rabbit, and Darwin will go with you to help with Dr. Winters, and Brick come in here. Underneath the desk, you see one of those dog things. Right here, next to where you're standing, Rabbit, are 2 power cells. These are probably the power cells for that shuttle.
Yep.
However, when you walk into the room, Brick wastes no time in raising his rifle. And if you want to roll initiative, Rabbit. Nice. Brick goes first. And
Come on, Brick.
His shots go wide. You see sparks and shattered glass as it breaks through computer monitors. Damn it! He cries out. And he's banging his gun because why did it misfire? Rabbit, your turn.
Yeah. He's beelining it to the power cells here. He's going to pull out his tools and see the frag grenade sitting kind of at the top. He's gonna eye that, but start working on removing the first cell on the bottom here.
All right, that's going to be a jury rigging roll, and you can use speed if you're trying to do this fast,
Yes.
or intellect if you're trying to do it right.
Speed with some jury rigging here, or can I use mechanical repair?
Yes, that would probably be better.
Right, height of my skill here. Come on,
Ooh.
Rabbit.
Nice.
Yes.
So you're going to be able to get one of the cells out on your next turn.
Okay. Just gonna keep focused.
The dog thing lays into Brick and misses. Oh, might have a chance here. Let me move Brick and the dog thing close together. Brick points the gun right at the thing's head, squeezes off another burst of rounds, and drills it for 16
Nice.
points of damage. So let me drop him down.
Rabbit. I think Rabbit is definitely going to make a fear save here.
Yeah.
There's
Give me a fear save. I think that is called for.
yeah.
Yeah.
His hands are shaking, and but he tries to get this thing. He knows that he's got to get this out, so he continues pulling.
So you managed to get the topmost cell out, and it's kind of bulky. It's probably weighs, 20 pounds or so, and it's just a big, large box, like a giant lithium battery, basically. But it's got, fissionable materials in there. But you get it out. Your Geiger counter begins to click slowly, click, 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 click. This is giving off some radiation. You hope that your vac suit will shield you from this, but that thought begins to go through your head, like, what if there's a pinhole? That's all it takes is a pinhole.
Yep. I've got some radiation pills too. I'll pop some. I'll make a mental note to pop some of those later.
The dog thing lays into Brick, and he's in hand-to-hand combat. This thing rakes him with its fist, trying to claw through his flesh, and Brick is yelling out, every word he knows, every curse word, calling upon the thing's mother, everything he can think of as he's in this death battle with this, trying to buy you that time.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the next one. I have a sense, correct, that I need both to get the shuttle
You will
out,
need
or
both.
is one enough?
Nope, you will need both to power the shuttle.
All right, I'll give another speed with mechanical repair. Come on, baby. No.
So this one's a little trickier. This one doesn't pop out as easily. Brick is going to do his best to lay some wounds onto this, trying to buy you more time. That's going to be a hit. Yeah, 12 damage. This creature will take a wound. So let me see
Nice.
what the wound is. So, fractured arm. So fractures an extremity. So that's going to be, let's see, 12. So that'll be 4, so that'll be 8. So we'll take it down to 12, add a wound. Perfect. It cannot lash out with its fist attack because of that broken extremity, so it just tries to bite Brick. And this thing is rolling terribly. Critical failure. So
Thank goodness.
it bites Brick's pulse rifle, and Brick's next attack he'll have advantage on it as it's gnawing on the end that goes boom.
I know which end that is.
Yeah.
All right.
Rabbit, make another roll for me here.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
critical fail. Give me a panic check. So click on your token and then
Yeah.
click on the make a panic check.
Oh yeah. Click there. Panic check.
Oh, you gain a new condition. So whenever a close crew member
Needed.
fails a save, you will gain
Gain a
1
stress.
stress.
Okay.
I'm going to drag that onto your character sheet. So that should show up
Right.
on there. Excellent. And let's see, got that. There we go. Let's go back to Brick. He gets a advantage on this. That is going to be a hit. Oh, no. Oh, he missed.
Oh no.
So he fires, and it blows some teeth out of this creature. It jerked its head at the last moment, and the creature will attempt to bite him again. Uh-oh. Brick takes 9 damage. He is down to 4. He's got 4 hit points and he's dead. So he is
Rick is dead.
almost. He's got
He
4 hit
will be.
points
He will
left.
be. Yeah.
One more and he's down. It's Brick's turn. No, it's Rabbit's turn.
Can I change my decision and come in to help?
Yeah, you can hear gunfire, shouting, probably hear Rabbit screaming, this high pitched. Ah! You think it's that ringing in your ears from when you came out of cryo sleep.
Can I run back into the room to help?
Yeah, let me pull you in here, and I'll get your initiative rolled. There we go. All right, Rabbit, you're up.
All right. Still got to get this power cell out. Have I got any sort of advantage from playing around with this thing a few rounds?
I would say yes, except for you had a critical failure.
Oh yeah, that's true. All right, so I'm back
I'm
to
gonna say
square
no
zero. Right.
advantage on that. Yeah, in fact, you're gonna have
Right.
to probably take a panel apart in order to get this thing out.
Okay. So can I still do a speed check here though?
Yes.
Rolling.
Ooh.
Oof. Still.
Yeah, eventually you're just gonna have to
Sweating.
start just pounding at it with a hammer, trying to get it out.
Yeah.
It does not want to yield. Let's go to Taco. You come into the room and you see Brick just in mortal combat with this dog thing.
I'm going to shoot.
Perfect.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Amazing.
How do you take it out?
Again, I just try to shoot at the center of it, at the center, much as in the center as possible.
So critical success, maximum damage. You take it right in the chest, and in fact, it bores a hole big enough you could probably put your hand through it. And you see, the back wall is splattered with this blue-green blood and clumps of black flesh, and it falls down on its haunches and then reels backwards with blood just pooling out underneath it. And Brick fires into it a couple more times just to make sure it's dead. Shoots it in the head, shoots it in the body. You can see Brick is trembling. He's pretty badly wounded. He's got a pretty severe bite on his shoulder, and you see him kind of favoring the other arm as he holds his pulse rifle with one arm at his hip.
Can I try to help him?
Yeah, give me a roll to try and get him healed up, you can use your surgery skill on that. Be an intellect roll. Yeah, so you're
Nice.
able to get him somewhat stabilized. He's that he needs a medibay. He needs some serious healing. He quickly reloads his pulse rifle. He thanks you. Looks at Rabbit. Come on, do your job. Get that out of there. Rabbit,
All right.
no pressure. You can have advantage on this roll.
All right, yeah. I now I'm not fearing for my life as much. Come on, baby.
You got it.
There we go.
You pull the second cell out. As it comes out, you've got both cells in front of you. Darwin says 34 minutes and 12 seconds until catastrophic event.
Yeah, I'm going to pull out the scanner and scan this dog man and try to take samples of the blood.
So you've not been able to get the blood before, so this will be a new find. So you're able to get those samples. The tissue looks similar to the other tissue that you have recovered, but this is much more fresh. Probably more viable if you want to extract some good DNA out of it. So you're able to get some tissue samples as well.
Okay. Then I turn to Rabbit and Rabbit, is there any way you can power up the machine in there so we can get more vaccines?
One thing Rabbit, is that it took a pretty big draw on your laser cutter, and you think you might need every bit of this juice to get that shuttle started. Do you risk not being able to get the shuttle started to make more vaccine?
Okay, can I scan Rabbit?
Yes. Give me a roll for that.
Yeah. Pathology?
Yep. And Rabbit, as you see him scan you, give me a fear roll. Fear save.
Oh, good. He was successful. All right. Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah, he is. He's looking at you, and he scans you, and you see him almost doing the cold calculations, like, if he's infected, do I give him our only antidote, or what do I do? But then you see him kind of grin. It's nothing, and he turns. Maybe Taco picks up one of the power supplies, and begins to leave. But he seems satisfied that you are not infected.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. Remind me. Darwin takes a power.
Yep, Darwin
power
will carry
supply.
one, and then one of you.
I'm going to take.
Will you take the other one?
I'll take it. You can. Do you want to help Brick?
Yeah, I'll help Rick, and I'm going to grab all those berry plants I can.
Perfect. Give me a
We gotta
roll
go, Doc.
to harvest any more berry plants. You guys have just about picked them over, but if you make a botany roll, see if you can find any additional ones that you think are ripe enough you'd be able to use. Oh, critical success. Yeah. Yep.
Success.
You do find some. So you'd be able to make some more antidote, but probably not here, but hopefully on the shuttle you'd be able to do that.
Do I need the equipment that's here?
You don't know what's on the shuttle, so you might want to take that.
Yeah.
How heavy is it?
It's heavier than the power cells. It's definitely going to slow you down.
Do we have any sort of like hover cart?
Yeah, so there's a small transit sled in the repair bay that would be used to move heavy bits of equipment around. It's not like a grav cart. It's got wheels, but it's you could probably push it through the jungle. It's going to be slow, but you think you could probably do it.
Better than us trying to carry it, right?
Right.
Slightly. Yeah. I'll say, Darwin, come with me to get the repair sled, or a cargo sled.
Darwin goes with you. You find the sled. It's pretty cluttered. There's some junk all over around it and under it. It takes you a few minutes to get it cleared out, and all the while Brick is looking impatient. Like, we've got to get back to the ship.
Oh my god! Is there any is there like a flamethrower or any other type of industrial weaponry that I can scrounge around in this repair room?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. All right. He loads Rabbit loads up the sled and with the help of Darwin starts trying to push it through.
Okay, I'm going to check on Dr. Winters with Brick.
When you get back to Dr. Winters, she has expired. She has succumbed to her wounds, and when you check her, like she was fine just a few minutes ago, and then you see that there is a small pulsating bulge beneath her right eyelid. And as you peel back that eyelid, you can see one of those dark worms in there swimming in the vitreous fluid inside of her eyeball.
I'm sorry, Brick. I did all I could to save her.
He gives you a look, and it's a look that makes you a little uncomfortable. Give me a fear save. Yeah, in fact, he takes a step towards you, and then you see his shoulders drop. Let's just get out of here. This is the mission now. Let's get off this planet. And he picks up the handle for the little mobility sled, gives it to Darwin, and he starts walking out into the dark forest that's planetside.
I follow along.
Let me grab him on here. Brick. Right there.
In fact, I'm gonna run ahead. I'm gonna try to administer the antidote to Riley before she gets too more gone.
If you run on ahead, you'll have to forego any sort of stealth.
Okay, never
If you're
mind then.
sprinting. Okay.
Taco's much braver than Rabbit is.
As you make the trek back, it seems quite a bit longer, and it's because you're hauling this precious cargo. You've got the power supplies as well as the synthesizer to help you make more antidote, and you still have one viable dose of antidote. Oh, no, did you give that to Dr. Webster?
No, I did
you
not.
didn't. Yeah, you did not. So you still have one dose of antidote. You could give that to Riley, or save it to see if perhaps Rabbit doesn't become infected at some point.
I'm going to give it to Riley, and I'll monitor Rabbit.
Perfect. As long as you keep a pistol handy for Rabbit, that's all you likely need.
And then I'm going to try to make some more on the shuttle.
Perfect. You can hear sounds around you. They're coming from the darkness, and Brick immediately clicks on a flashlight and begins to shine it around into the darkness. Where are they? Where are they?
Stop! We're trying to sneak past him. Turn it off.
He clicks.
Rabbit tells Darwin to keep moving.
Darwin keeps going. He clicks off that flashlight. They're definitely getting closer. Give me a speed roll. This is going to be if you're trying to be stealthy as you're maneuvering this thing.
All of us?
Oh, yeah. Taco and Rabbit.
With Rabbit's industrial equipment, he's really familiar with these types of things and how to move them.
I love
All right.
it. Absolutely.
I needed it.
So probably as Taco is yelling at Brick, Rabbit is like slowly creating a little distance between Brick and Taco and himself. Just like if it's going to jump out at them, I don't want to be right next to them. And you maybe slow down a bit, and you've got a little bit of distance there. Taco and Brick have the big pulse rifles anyway, and so you have Darwin help you out. And again, Darwin is saying, we could use these power supplies to run the equipment to set up a habitat, and we could, we've got genetic samples. We can start a colony here. It's like he will not let this go, and it's just part of his programming is to ensure that the mission succeeds. Have you mentioned to Darwin that you're planning on leaving? Would Rabbit have mentioned that to him?
I think he said we've got to get the shuttle running.
Yeah. And Darwin's okay with that. Although you get the feeling he may not be okay with you leaving.
Once we leave.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you
Rabbit
begin to
notes that.
suspect.
Yep.
As you get to where you can see the ship, it's about 200 meters away. And that's when two of those dog things begin to stalk through the brush. You can see the brush moving around them. And let me just get these into a combat. We'll kind of do this in rounds. Darwin will be a non-combatant. If you guys want to roll initiative, you can.
Where do we do that from?
So if you go to the
Cross swords.
the cross swords, there will be a die next to Taco. Just click on that die and it will roll initiative for you, which is just a speed roll. Perfect. First up is Rabbit.
Yeah, Rabbit's going to tell Darwin to keep pushing, and he's going to rifle through his things and prepare his frag grenade and pull out the nail gun and just kind of ready in action, so to speak. I know that's not something we can do, but yeah.
Yep, that sounds good to me. Taco, you can see these two things. They have not. They're maybe following your scent, you suspect, but they've not keyed in on you yet. But they are in your way. You're gonna have to get past them.
Rabbit, use the grenade.
All right, he's gonna take. Let's see. Yeah, I think he's gonna hand it to Brick. He's gonna hand Brick the grenade because Brick is probably more familiar with how to target these things.
Yeah, Brick would be better with a grenade. You've created a
Here you
little
go, big
distance
fella.
between you and Brick. You can get up there and give it to him if you like. He will be more than happy to take it.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I'm going to shoot then for my turn.
Okay, let's go ahead and shoot, Taco. That is a critical success. I assume
That's amazing.
Yeah, probably the one that's in front of you. He's going to take a wound. Internal bleeding. So he will take a wound. He'll drop to 10 hit points. And then the internal bleeding, every round he will take 2 points of damage as he is bleeding. So let's jump ahead. It is the other one's turn. The other one, hearing the repeat of the pulse rifle, will begin to sprint towards your position. I'm just going to put you guys up here. And it's going to pounce at Brick and just lays into him with its fists. And hits Brick for 12 points of damage. Well, Brick's sprained ankle is the least of his injuries. You hear a loud crack, and Brick's neck snaps. He was down to 4 hit points, just took 12. And Brick falls, and you see that frag grenade roll out of his hands, and it's on the ground about 2 feet from that dog thing as it begins to just bite Brick repeatedly. The other one, this one's going to take 2 points of damage from bleeding. And then it's going to lunge at Taco. And it reaches out to touch you with its 2 black, spindly claw-like arms. And it hits you for 11 damage. Now, you have armor. Your armor will take 3 of that, and then it destroys your armor. So you're going to be hit for 8 points of damage. So your vac suit is now punctured. And you will take 8 damage, so that will drop you to 7 health. Rabbit, your turn.
Is the grenade that fell out of his hand, is it pulsing like it's going to go off here?
Nope, the pin had
he
not
did
been
not
pulled.
activate it?
Nope.
Right. Yeah, so he he's gonna scramble for it, and then if he's able to, try to toss it. He doesn't want to hit Taco though.
So that's the problem. So it'll damage
Yeah.
everything that is close, everything within about 10 or 15 feet. You could, yeah, because they're this one over here that is undamaged.
Yeah.
He's probably
Is it attacking Brick's dead body, or is
yeah,
it not interested in it?
It's
Okay.
ripping his body apart. It will on its
Yeah.
next turn. It will probably go after another threat. Taco is engaged with this other one. They're probably, we'll say, 20 feet away. I'll give
Okay.
Taco a body save to not take damage from the grenade, but you're going to have to make a speed roll to
Yeah.
pick up that grenade and be able to use it this turn.
Okay. I don't think that anything applies. So speed, scrambles, dives for it.
Look at that. Critical success.
He was, yeah.
It's like
Eyeing
you're
it.
sliding into third. You just drop down,
Yeah.
slide down, pick up that grenade, and in one motion you pull the pin, and then you're going to roll the
Yeah.
grenade towards it. That'll be
I'm gonna try to target more the one that's undamaged
This
and
one
keep it
here?
a little further. Yeah, a little further away from Taco and the other one. But yeah, tossing it that way.
Give me a combat roll with advantage.
Nice.
Because you don't actually have to hit it, you just got to get close.
Come on, baby.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
All right. Lethal injury. So a limb is on fire. So first off, he takes 20 points of damage. Which that will be... Oops, that will give him one wound. He is badly wounded. He's got a limb on fire. He'll take 2d10 damage per round, and then he'll make a death save. Let me have Taco give me a body save with advantage, and I'll have this thing make an instinct roll. Okay.
No.
Taco, you're going to take half of that damage, which was 10. So that'll be a wound. And that's going to drop you, let's see, that'll be 7. And then you're going to be down to 12. And you will take a wound. It's not going to be the same wound. Your hair gets burnt. Oh, you're going to gain 1d5 stress. Let's see how much stress you gain. Ooh, you're going to gain 5 stress. Which that will... Oh, you're at 20. Okay, so you need to make a panic roll. So let me do that for you. Something starts visiting you at night in your dreams out of the corner of your eye, and soon it starts making demands. Assuming you survive, you're going to be haunted by what happened here in the woods. But at least the grenade didn't kill you. Taco, it's your turn.
I'm going to shoot at the one that's attacking me.
Perfect. He's almost dead. 8 points of damage, and he will be dead.
Oh yeah, did he take any grenade damage?
He did. Taco,
I rolled normal.
how do you
Or at least
how do you finish him off?
again, just straight at the center of his mass.
Nice.
I think Taco took some military training before joining the Science Academy.
Right? Yeah, you don't need a Marine, you need a scientist. This guy's going to take some damage. He'll take 2d10 damage. Because he is on fire. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay, takes 16. He's got 4 hit points left. You guys might actually do this.
Oh, Brandon, I think I'm gonna bump my stress up at least 1 for that failed for my deflated body.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. The dog thing is going to lunge at Rabbit. And it's going to try to pound you with its... Actually, it's going to bite because its limb is on fire. It cannot hit you with its fists. It's going to bite at you and miss horribly. Critical failure. It bites on a tree that's near your position, and it exposes itself. The next attack on that thing will have advantage. And Rabbit, you're the next attack.
Yeah. So my unarmed strike here, I'm assuming I'm going to use like a. It says just a straight 4 damage. Wait, no, how much?
So it does like 1/10 of your strength. Your strength is 40,
Oh,
so
okay.
it'll do 4 damage.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, yeah, I'm just gonna grab a tool that's nearby from his belt loop or something and strike out at it.
Perfect.
And I got advantage on that.
Yep.
Oh, baby.
Okay, you do 4 damage. How do you kill this thing?
Yeah, as it goes down, kind of that big shiny top part of its head as it bites down on a root, just circus game slams down on it and splatters everywhere.
Nice. Whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole, yeah.
For a nervous guy, you sure are violent.
Right.
He was emboldened by the grenade explosion. Just all adrenaline.
Rabbit, now that you have seen what you are capable of, give me a sanity roll as you realize, like, who is this person that's in my body right now? This does not seem like you at all. Oh, you know what? Maybe you're cool with it.
Maybe this is me.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the new Rabbit.
Yeah, Rabbit's going to turn a new leaf.
Right? Darwin says, sorry to interrupt, gentlemen. 13 minutes and 25 seconds until catastrophic event.
Let's run. There's nothing to be hide from now.
You sprint into the cargo bay, and you see Riley. She's not doing well at all. She's very pale. She's got some of those kind of tumorous masses on her neck. She's got a huge one on her throat. Looks like a goiter. Just a huge mass, and you can see it pulsating slightly as though there's something squirming about under her flesh.
I run over to her and inject the antidote.
Perfect. Rabbit, what are you doing?
I want to install the power cells, but I'm also thinking about Darwin, and I'm gonna start suggesting to him that there's maybe something I still need to check with his programming.
Yeah, you're going to have to override him, or there's a chance he will try to override your leaving.
Right.
You get the sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to not let on to that. I'm trying to say, like, I think I need to do another check on you. You're still acting a little off program. I need to check for any lingering hidden viruses.
Yeah, he will turn around and open that port, and you connect your computer up to him. What do you do?
Yeah, I think I want to see if I can power him down.
Ooh. Okay, give me either mechanical repair or jury rigging.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him a body save here.
Just a normal intellect
if he
with
fails,
mechanical repair?
so you'll have advantage. So he failed, so you'll have advantage on
sweet.
this.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
He begins to power down, and he says, "Wait," and then everything goes quiet, and he just
Sorry, buddy.
slumps forward.
And then I'll start working on. Well, I guess I would have waited to like have him help me install the power cells, but then I'll try to go to
bring him back. Hey, help me do this manual labor first, and then let me do this again.
Hold on a second. Yeah, but as soon as that's done, I'm gonna go try to.
I promise I won't turn you off this time.
I'm gonna go try to start up the launch procedure.
It needs to be started from inside the computer room as well as inside the shuttle. It's a 2-person job. So Taco, you administer the medicine to Riley, and it takes a moment. She's pretty far gone, but then you see on your Metascan that her symptoms are improving, and you think that you have given her the antidote in time.
Okay, I'll leave her there and go into the computer room to prepare to start up the shuttle.
Perfect.
Rabbit will go into the shuttle to do his part.
Taco.
Can we, before we do that, can we throw Darwin on the
on the shuttle?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll throw them on the shuttle or throw them on the cart.
Yeah.
Gravity.
If you'll let me retcon it a little bit, I think I would have been on the shuttle installing the power cells,
Oh,
and then
perfect.
had him sit down right next to it right after we
Perfect.
installed those. So
Yeah, I'll
yeah,
put him in the
he's already
shuttle.
on there.
Excellent.
All right.
Then Rabbit, you're in the shuttle, and Taco goes to the computer room, and Riley
Yeah.
will kind of drag herself onto the shuttle. She sits by Darwin. She's got her hand on his leg. She's like, "It's all right, buddy." Taco, in the computer room, as you begin to access the computer to start the shuttle, you hear the sound coming from the vent, but this time it's very distinct, and you can make out some of the words.
Okay, what are the words saying?
Yeah, couldn't you?
Come back alive. Someone in the vent is telling you to come back alive. Or that they want to come back alive. You're not sure what.
Okay, can I record it?
Yes, absolutely. So
Smart.
you turn on your comm, start to record. Let me turn off the other music.
Is there a computer in this computer room that can analyze this?
Yes, that would be an intellect roll. If you have computers, you can use that skill.
I don't think I passed.
That will be a
Yeah.
panic check. Let me roll that for you. Rage. So all crew members gain 1 stress. So Rabbit, you're going to gain 1 stress. As you can
Yep.
see, Taco just pounding his fist on the computer, unable to get this thing to analyze. The reason why is it's not one single voice, but it's a multitude of voices. And the computer begins to kick out names, and it's names of crew members.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, as far as I know, everyone died, right?
As far as you know.
Okay, I'm going to file this in paranormal investigation.
Give me a
And,
sanity save.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, excellent.
Nice.
Yeah, something paranormal. This is like you just want to get off this planet. This is
I'm gonna
not okay.
do whatever needs to be done to start up the shuttle.
As you begin to punch in the commands, let me grab this real quick. Computer.
Remote shuttle start initiated. Powering up engines. Life support systems online. Navigation systems online. Fuel levels sufficient. Shuttle will be ready for departure in T-minus 30 seconds. Prepare for remote disengagement.
Rabbit, you're looking out the cockpit, and you can see Taco working on the computer, and you see the shuttle begin to do the startup countdown, 30 seconds. And then from the vent in the wall behind him, you see something oozing out of the vent.
Oh.
It is
No.
a writhing mass of body parts, whispering flesh. There's bits of face and arm, rib bones, mouths, and you can see it just sludging like an octopus, just coming down the wall towards Taco.
Yeah.
What do you do, Rabbit?
I think in the spirit of Mothership, that's just a straight panic roll for Rabbit.
Yep, let me give him a panic roll.
I mean, it's more than fear, it's more than sanity.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
still
you're definitely
deflated.
Absolutely.
He'll come on the comms and say, "Doc, we're ready to go. Come on, just waiting on you. Hurry."
Now, Rabbit, you have a choice. There are 5 minutes and 12 seconds left until the fusion reactor goes boom. You're on the ship. The ship is started. You can see Taco in the computer room. He gets up, ready to come join you, and you see that thing coming down the wall. This is your choice. Do you save yourself, or do you hope to save Taco and maybe jeopardize your own survival?
Yeah. So this thing is in the bay coming down the wall, kind of like
It's
from where the other ones were?
It's in the computer room.
Oh, in the computer room.
With Taco. So you're behind that protective glass.
Yeah.
As well as
I,
in the cockpit, but you can see it.
If that's the case, yeah, I don't think he's not gonna live up to his name and rabbit away just yet. He's gonna scream over the comms to hurry up. He's got a sense that he wants Taco to make one more antidote with some of those berries once they get safely off world.
Because you don't have an antidote.
Yeah, I don't have an antidote. So yeah, he's still thinking that way, and he's not gonna press the launch button just yet here. But he's got his hand over it.
Taco, you hear Rabbit. He says, let's hurry up. Come on. But you can sense the little bit of panic in his voice, that deflated sense of like, oh gosh, something's not right. And you turn and you see that whispering flesh creeping down the wall, and the sounds and voices of crew members calling out to you. And some of them are crew members that you likely knew, some of the science team. Give me a sanity roll.
No.
Let me give you a panic check. So if you engage in violence, you'll need to make a fear save first, otherwise you will flee. What does Taco do?
Am I in a good enough state of mind to scan this thing?
No. Well, you'd have to make a fear save if you want to try and scan it. Otherwise, you're going to sprint.
Let's try to do a fear save.
Okay. Ooh, you got it.
Wow.
I scan that thing.
You scan
Go
it,
ahead.
and it is comprised of 14 crew members, and they are all from the science lab, and they have all succumbed to some sort of strange condition. You don't know whether this is the end result of the parasites, if this is something entirely different. Whatever it is, you want no part of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna run like hell at this point.
Do you want to try and take a sample of that after you scan it?
No.
Okay. Give me a speed roll as you run past it.
Amazing.
Nice. It will try to lash out at you. Give me a strength check with advantage because of your good result on the speed roll. Oh yeah, you got it. So it reaches out some of those tendrils to try and grasp you, and you feel them slide down the back of your leg as you leave the computer room. Rabbit, you see him just sprinting hellbent for the shuttle. You've got the shuttle ready to go. The cargo bay door is open. Taco, you sprint up the ramp. You get the ramp shut. Rabbit, you need to take this thing out, or do you wait for Taco to join you?
It's coming after him.
Yeah.
Are there there's no weapons on this thing, I assume, are there?
So you can just back this thing out as quick as you like. You'll need to make like a piloting check. That's going to be an intellect roll.
Okay. Yeah, as soon as I see Taco on, like, I'm trying to close doors and GTFO.
Okay.
All right. Intellect. I don't have piloting. Could I add equipment to this?
No.
Or 0G maybe? Yeah. Okay.
0G, yeah, if you have that.
All right. I'm gonna roll here. Okay. Yeah, I needed it.
That clicking sound is the 30-second timer before meltdown. So
Okay.
you're
We're
going
backing
to
out.
make it out with less than 30 seconds left. You back out. You turn the ship around. There's a sudden blast as your maneuver drives kick in, a brilliant blue light, and you bolt straight up towards the atmosphere. And if this were a movie, we would see you coming up, the Mach cone, and then with that ring, a huge, brilliant fireball as the ship erupts in a nuclear explosion. And there's buffeting as you make it up through the upper atmosphere, and then weightlessness sets in. You literally made that out with seconds to spare. So, fantastic. And I can't fiddle. Once I start that timer, I can't fiddle with it.
Yeah.
So it took exactly 2 hours. So that was impressive. You have both survived. You have both saved. You saved Riley. Did you solve?
And Darwin.
And Darwin. Solving, I think you solved as much as you could. You discovered there was the EMP pulse, and this colonization effort was not going to happen. So I think that's a success.
We've got good DNA samples of the dog things, lots of alien fauna samples, and yellow mucus samples. So I'd say we
absolutely. Now let's fast forward 2 weeks, and Rabbit, tell me where you are 2 weeks from now. Have you been recovered? Are you still in space, or are you going into cryo sleep on this shuttle?
Let's see. Yeah, if we would have gotten some navigation, I think we would have probably not been a long range shuttle. So I would have put out some sort of SOS beacon, try to get in touch with corporate, and wait for the cavalry to come rescue us. So depending on how long that took, I would have nervously encouraged Taco to make me an antidote and give me 2 or 3 doses of it. And then depending on how long it took for the cavalry to come, we'd either maybe go into short-term cryo or be rescued.
If you go into cryo, do you reactivate Darwin so that he can monitor communication in case someone does answer your distress call?
I think I'd talk it over with Taco, but we'd probably make sure Riley was taken care of first, and then I don't know. I'd chat with Taco before we did anything.
Taco, 2 weeks from now, what's happening with the crew of this shuttle?
I want to monitor everybody and make sure nobody's infected and make any antidotes that are necessary.
You run some checks. Riley has fully recovered, and it does not seem as though yourself or Taco were ever infected. It seems as though somehow you managed to get out of there without one of those worms getting through your suit. You had one close call.
And then I want to analyze this planet that we were supposed to colonize called NC-2806.
You look up.
Well, we don't know where that one is, right?
You look up on star maps. You are in uncharted space. Wherever you are, no one has been to this planet before, and you can see that you're roughly 96 years from the planet you intended to colonize.
Are there any links in the DNA of any of these samples with anything that might have been on NC-2806? Any kind of conspiracy that I can link to what happened to the crew? That thing that was crawling out of the vent?
There are. You're not able to find anything. I think I see where you're headed. You're not able to find anything that might have led to that. However, you do one night. You probably can't sleep, and so you're up, and maybe the others are on downtime and they're resting, and you just happen to pull up Riley's personnel file, and you can see that there's flags there. She's been flagged from corporate that there are suspicions of her working for an outside firm, that perhaps she is not strictly loyal to Tokugawa Enterprises. And they had someone monitoring her, and that someone was Darwin.
Oh, crap.
What do you do with that information?
Knowing Rabbit's nervous nature, I just let him go into cryo. And then I think about it. Is there any way I can access Darwin's logs?
Yes, yep, you could do that. Because
I want to go through Darwin's logs.
he's still not been turned on, so you could access that. You get through his logs, and you see that there is a point where Riley had unauthorized access to Darwin, and it looks as though there was an electronic package that was installed in Darwin. But it's encrypted. You're not able to determine what it might be, who it might be from, but it seems as though Riley put it there.
Is Riley on downtime?
Yes, Riley is. She's not in cryo, but she is sleeping.
I'm going to shoot her in her sleep.
Nice.
Right through the head.
Rabbit, you wake up. You hear this loud sound, and you instantly begin to have that nightmare. That nightmare of being on that planet and those dog things. And you get up and you walk down the hallway, and you go into a room and you see Taco holding a pistol and Riley's brains spattered all over her bed and the wall of her room. And you look at Taco and you look at the gun, and then the camera kind of pans up to your face and your eyes go wide, and that's where it cuts to black, and that's the end.
Nice. Great job, everybody.
Excellent. That was fantastic. That was fun.
Yeah.
Well, again, I apologize for not being patient enough to let you finish talking.
Oh, no, you're good, Fred.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's hard to do on Discord like this.
You
never
can't
know
see
who's
me
gonna be
gesturing like I'm about to continue or something. So
Yeah.
totally, it's
Yeah.
part of the gig. It's just kind of what comes with playing online. So,
Yeah.
But you guys did fantastic. Like really excellent, kind of lateral thinking and problem solving. I've run this. I think this is the third or fourth time, and you guys did things that no one else has done, and kind of had workarounds that no one else. Like everyone always fights that dog thing in the beginning in the cryo lab.
Yeah.
And it's brutal. It's always tough.
Mistake.
Yeah,
Mistake.
you guys just got right past it. So, fantastic.
Yeah, I read that How to Be a Good Player.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, you don't just want to jump in with your guns unless you have to.
And
Exactly,
the only
yeah.
way we made it out of that is with some really good rolls.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I
Then
think
we did
both
have-
of you, like your stress, I think was maxed out for both of you, and so which makes
I got
it
up to
fun at the end.
15. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're at 15. Taco's at 20,
I was at 20, yeah.
and Riley's
Automatic
dead.
fail of every panic check for him.
What do you guys do with Darwin? Do you flush him out into space? Do you vent him, or do you try and salvage him?
Just leave him powered down.
Yeah.
And
Corporate will want to do some more analysis, probably.
maybe
Awesome.
try to, at some point, try to analyze these files.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, gentlemen, that is the end of the adventure. As Fred knows, I record our sessions. I saved a video of this. I can post it on YouTube if you guys want to go back and enjoy it and enjoy your successes. If either of you object to that, let me know. I won't post it, but otherwise I'll put it up on the channel, and I'll post a link to the video on Discord so you guys can go back and watch it. I'll get that posted tonight. And I hope to get you guys in some other games. I run Mothership every now and then. I've got two other adventures good to go. One is USS Scorpio, and the other is the Heart of Tiberius. Scorpio is a shorter one. It's like 2 hours. It has a timer like this one. Heart of Tiberius is a little bit longer, and it's more role-play heavy versus like, oh my gosh, we're all going to die. What do we do? There's a little bit more of a mystery, and there's a really good moral dilemma at the end. It can be a lot of fun. But I also run a lot of Dragonbane, Call of Cthulhu. I've got a Traveler game coming up. All sorts of stuff. So hopefully, if you guys stick around on the Discord, you'll see the games I post before anyone else gets a chance to sign up. But like Fred said, they go fast. So
Yeah.
if you see something you're
Yep.
interested in, hop on as soon as you can, and definitely hope to get the chance to play with you guys again.